Hello, hello, hello. What is up? What is up? This is your buddy Alert Wolf here to bring you another anime review. This one's coming out a little late. Sorry, guys. This one's Aruta the Legend, Episode 9. This one's called Demonization. Now, real fast, I don't know if you guys see the S on my chest. That's right, it's Friday. Superman is out today. I'm going to go see it later tonight and probably try to get that review out as soon as possible on it. Other things to look forward for me is you're going to get, because I did see, speaking of movie reviews, I did see This Is the End, so you're going to get a review out of me out of that. And, you know, obviously, Majestic, Prince, and Transformers Prime are also today. So I will get that out to you. Hopefully everything will be out by Saturday. Now, let me just get right into it. So this episode of Aruta the Legend was freaking epic. It was awesome. At least the beginning was. And the end, the middle was, that's how I'll describe it. So the beginning, Kawadaka, yeah, whatever, that he comes after Aruta right away, first thing in the episode, like no hesitation. Like you think it would take him some time to catch up to his buddy, you know, right away. And he's like, you piece of shit, I found you, I'm gonna kick your ass, I'm gonna kill you, dude. Ooh, you're gonna get it. And he takes out his show, or he reveals his show and takes out his bone sword thing, and he's like, "Rawr!" And he's like, "I'm gonna kill you." And then Aruta says stuff like, "Dude, what are you doing in this world?" He's like, you ran here to hide from me." And so he blocks the attack with his light shield. He's like, "Oh, so that's the Kazanagi that's gonna rule over the world," or Haganagi, not Kazanagi. Man, I mispronounced, but whatever. He's like, "Haha, I'm gonna get you." And then he's like, "You're scum." And then Aruta loses it. He demonizes, which is something I didn't know, which is your sword can demonize and turn dark. And if you do it for too long, it becomes an evil demonic sword. And his sword went to darkness right away. And he was like, "Rah," you know, and he was badass. And he hit him with a full wave of darkness, and that, like, even though his shield was cool, he was in a little cocoon pod egg thing, and he had this shield of bone, like from the ribs surround him, but he still got hurt even within that. And the other 6 show are like, "Dude, we're leaving, we didn't count on him demonizing." So this whole first opening of this anime was epic. It was badass. It was amazing. It is exactly what I want to see out of this anime. Okay, now afterwards, alright. I said this before. I really don't want to see too many more bitch moments out of Aruta. I'm tired of him being a little bitch. And I'm just saying, tired of the bitch moments. So he regressed a little. And okay, given the story and the premise, it is acceptable. First off, the chick figured, and when he went all dark and evil, his chick, you know, she went up and hugged it out and brought him out of darkness, you know, but she got knocked out in the process. So now he's afraid of demonizing again, and his buddy's there, and all those old memories of the person he used to be kicked in and overwhelmed him, right? And so, given the circumstances, this bitch moment is acceptable. Because at least it didn't cause loss of life. Because that last bitch moment really pissed me off. So this time, I'm more accepting of it. It fits with the situation. So then, he's like, he drops his sword. Fire dude grabs it, bounces on him, and then he talks it out with this chick, and you know, by talking it out, you know, at least she's aware that he's a different dude, and that he knows the other Eric's is fine. And it's funny, she's like, "So what's your name?" And he's like, we got the same name." And she gives him a look like, "Really?" So, you know, so there's that. And then Kanagi is trying to snap him out of bitch mode. He really is. Because After having the sword for a while, he decides to come back, gives it back to him. He's like, the sword is heavy with the weight of responsibility, your responsibility. Who else would want to wield that? You have to, basically saying it's on you to save the world, buddy. And he's like, you know, but right now you're afraid of demonizing and all this. So he ends up, Erta snaps out of it a little bit, not 100%, but he snaps out of it a little bit. He's sparring, then Kusanagi is like, dude, I'll spar with you. Kannagi is like, I'll spar with you. And he spars with him and knocks his sword over a cliff. And he's like, you have until sundown to go get that shit. You know, it's reminiscent of a lion throwing their cub off a mountain. You know what I mean? That type of, or is it a wolf? So the cub off the lion type thing. Again, I think it's a lion. It may be a wolf. Whatever. But you get the idea. So he goes down there to reclaim his sword. He thinks about it. And he's thinking about his situation. And this is why I like this. Hello, Alert Wolf here. This black wolf grabs his sword and bounces and starts running. And he starts chasing after this wolf through the forest onto this like jetty across this, I don't know if it's a lake or the ocean or whatever the hell it is, and he's chasing it. He's like, why am I even doing this? And the wolf is just playing with him, you know. You think this wolf is vicious, but I could tell he wasn't vicious. He was just playing with him. It was almost like his little animal spirit guiding him on this one, and that's cool, man. Actually, I wish he kept the wolf. That wolf was badass, but that made him the shit. But so he remembers, and we get more of the relationship between him and Kawandake. Man, I'm butchering this guy's name. Now, on his front, his story is he wakes up on a ship. He has a female attendant who's this like comedical, you know, she's like clumsy, and she wants to know why she talks to him about why he hates Erta so much, and she's like, it sounds like to me you really like him. And he's like, what? She's like, yeah, you want to be friends with him. Well, because if you hate him, you could just ignore him, but you never stop thinking about him. And then this is when we get the dual flashback here, and he threatens her. He's like, oh, you don't know anything about it. This is all his fault. And we get his flashback where he explains that you know, that they would race together and they would ask to run together and blah blah blah, and then during a race and they were running their all and he was in a slump. He feels Erta slowed down and let him tie him, and he hates him for that. And that's also the time period where his mom left him and all this, so he focuses all his negative stuff on Erta, because I think he felt Erta was his only real friend, and then he felt like Erta wasn't his friend, like he was just, he was just being fake to him. Meanwhile, Arata's thinking back on the whole thing, and he remembers that his buddy just sends to run with him, so he that's why he starts running with the wolf, and even the memory of their friendship inspires him, and he's like, no, we were friends once. So he gets back the sword, he goes back to the camp, and he's like, Kannagi's like, listen, man, we're cool, I'll follow you, I believe in you. And the chick is like, I believe in you too. And so he hugs the chick, and there's a comedic moment there. He digs her. And his boy did say, the other Erta did say she's like a little sister, so it's all good if they do it. And so while they were talking, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm gonna save my buddy. I'm gonna, change his heart. So now we're looking for them to reconcile, which kind of makes sense. I mean, in these shows, they were former best friends, so there's that chance. It's sort of the Naruto Sasuke type of deal. Well, the previous Naruto Sasuke type deal. And it's just, again, it's very similar to that Kiba show that I like. So I dig this whole, this whole complex. Now, what am I going to give this episode? Like I said, I thought the beginning was epic as shit. The first confrontation. The middle had some humor to it, and it was because he regressed a little. And then the end, he salvages, and it was okay. So I'm gonna just give this. You know what? For the fact it was so epic, I'm gonna just bump it up from a good because the epicness was like a 4. I'm gonna dump it up to like a 3.5. So there's 3.5 out of 5 for me on this episode. Mainly because of how epic. If the beginning wasn't so epic for this, at least for this series, I wouldn't. I probably would have just given this a good, but or maybe even lower actually. But it was awesome. And then the wolf, come on, alert wolf here. You always get me when you put a wolf in the story. So I think that's enough out of me. So like I said before, check out the other reviews that are going to be coming out in the next few days, and can't wait to go see Superman. That's on the chest here. So click it up if you like it, comment if you must, and please subscribe if you can. And by the way, Anime Redux is coming, and I am signing out.